Get ready. It's time for a well-deserved break, Pittsburgh. From the KDKA TV studios, it's Pittsburgh Today Live.
Hey everybody, we made it to Friday.
Happy Friday, David.
Happy Friday, Celina Pompeani. She's joining us again. Heather is taking the day after her birthday off, but we are thrilled that you're here with us.
I'm thrilled to be here too. I'm thrilled it's the weekend almost.
I know. And you know what? We literally have been starting each show telling you the day of the week. And it turns out there's a reason why, because lately, I mean, there's a new survey that found during all this self-isolation, Americans get confused about what day it is actually at least 5 times a week. 5 times a week. They don't know what day of the week it is, according to the survey. In fact, 59% of people didn't even know what day it was when they took the survey.
Oh, that's not
But
good.
you know what? But I understand.
I understand
because it starts to blend together, you know?
Well,
you're stuck at home and...
I find myself multiple times of the day looking at my phone. Oh, it's Friday, May 15th.
Let's look at your phone for another reason. Light that up again. So what's the picture that you have in the front there?
Well,
what
this is
that?
embarrassing. Unfortunately, I did not take this photo. This is a beautiful photo of a gorgeous looking summer drink, right?
It looks great with
at the
palm
Breakers
trees.
in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
But I didn't take it. They posted on their Instagram all of these great photos to save as your wallpaper, and I did.
Look, it caught my attention.
Oh, glad you liked it.
All right, today is not just Friday, it is something else.
It is something else. It's National Chocolate Chip Day. That is why, David, I brought in homemade chocolate chip cookies just for you.
These are homemade?
No, I lied. These are actually Chips Ahoy, but they're delicious.
I love you are so honest that you would never lie.
I couldn't lie to you.
And I did suspect these could be Chips Ahoy, but they're delicious regardless.
They're great.
Yes.
They're so good.
Yes.
But yeah, it's National Chocolate Chip Day. So this all started chocolate chips going into cookies way back in 1937 by a woman in Massachusetts, and she worked at the Toll House Inn, David, as in Nestle Toll House cookies. So this started a long time ago, and now that's why we have chocolate chip cookies.
And that's why they call them the Toll House cookies.
Yep.
All right. And you know what? That's not all. It's not just Chocolate Chip Day. It's also National Pizza Party Day.
What a great day.
I know. I mean, I don't know how all this happens. But anyway, to celebrate, you're supposed to have a pizza party. And obviously this year, you might need to do it at your home with your immediate housemates, or maybe do it virtually. But it turns out our modern pizza, what we think of as a pizza, of course, it started in Italy. You know, it's very cool to talk about this.
Well, and
we love pizza.
I'm getting pizza for dinner tonight.
I think pizza for dinner on Friday. That's Heather Abraham's thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Every week she posts a great photo of somewhere.
Every week, someplace.
Somewhere new.
Yeah. Well, today is also a big day for our region because southwestern counties in Pennsylvania, including Allegheny, move into the yellow phase of this reopening process. So that happens today. Beaver County, however, is not included in this, but it doesn't mean that everything is back to normal. This is just a step forward. So in-person retail is allowed, but curbside pickup or delivery is really encouraged. Gyms, movie theaters, spas, and salons all remain closed. Most of the state stores in our area, however, are reopening. There may be some limitations or restrictions, but just because we are moving forward, it's good news, but not everything is back to normal.
No, and you still cannot have big groups at all. So you could, I believe it's only 25 people.
Right.
That's your limit. And so we have a lot of changes, especially summer events, summer concerts. And we just got word that the Kenny Chesney Chillaxification concert actually won't be coming to Pittsburgh this month. He's not touring at all this year. So that's definitely going to be a big change. I know a lot of people will miss it. He and his team said, quote, they just can't find a way to make it safe. But the tour will be postponed until next year. So if you do have tickets, or if you did for the May 30th show, they will be valid for next year.
Good to know.
Very good to know.
Looking forward to next year. It will most undoubtedly be a better year than 2020.
Oh, we can only hope.
We can only hope. All right, so when we do move into the next phase, which is the green phase, we just moved into the yellow phase today, but in the green phase, restaurants can open for dine-in service. The question is, what are they going to look like? Because they're going to have to space people farther apart. You know, there'll be less people allowed in the restaurant, and we wanted to show you what one restaurant in South Carolina is doing right now. The owners wanted it to look as full as possible. So there are people in there, but look closely. Not everyone occupying a seat is an actual person. They bought
This is creepy.
They bought these blow-up dolls, put wigs on them, dressed them up, and so they're reserving the spaces so that they can still socially distance within the restaurant. But I think this is interesting. You know, we're talking about what's going to happen when things open up. I know Mayor Peduto's talking about maybe there's streets that will be closed and people will dine outside. So, you know, there are options, and that's one.
It's definitely weird, but maybe it does, you know, feel more like normal going out to eat when it's crowded, but that's not the only place. There's also another very fancy restaurant. It's outside of Washington, D.C., and they have a similar plan. I think this is even more creepy. So they have mannequins posed as couples dressed in a 1940s style. A local theater helped dress them, and most of us have been using Zoom, or we've been using FaceTime or Skype to stay in touch. But now Zoom has another new development in Pittsburgh, so this is definitely creepy. I'm ready to change the subject, David.
All right, we're changing the subject to Zoom, and here's an example of Zoom. If you've been under a rock and haven't Zoomed or Skyped or FaceTime, this is what it ends up looking like. So this is us Zooming with the Jagoff folks, but here's the deal. Zoom announced yesterday that they're going to open an operation in Pittsburgh. So it's going to be near Carnegie Mellon University. County Executive Rich Fitzgerald says this is fantastic. So Zoom plans on filling 500 jobs between this new Pittsburgh campus and another one that they're opening in Phoenix. They are hiring immediately, actually. The employees will work from home at least through September. But that's great news. And, you know, Zoom's something none of us had ever heard of. And now, of course, we're all doing it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. But, you know, I do have to say it's pretty easy and simple to use. Even when recording interviews for stories on PTL, Mikey does it all the time. I've been doing it. It's different. It's going to be weird to see what happens in the future when things go back to normal. Will we be continuing to do that?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see. Yeah. All right, it is time to answer your questions that you have posted to the Pittsburgh Today Live Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to answer as many as we can in the Friday free-for-all. So the first question is really more for Celina. Kathy was clearly watching yesterday when we were talking about Celina's love of Hallmark movies. She says, I love Celina's love of Hallmark movies. I wonder if she knows there's an app for your phone to keep track of all their movies, and it reminds you of premieres. Love the PTL family. Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy, I can't believe that I don't have this app.
I was going to say Celina invented the app.
Surprise! No, I don't even have the app, which I need to get because I would put that to good use.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
well,
next question.
Thank you, Kathy. Next question is from Brenda. She says, how in the world can you host and listen to all the voices in your ear? How long did it take to get used to that? So, David, would you like to explain?
Jill was talking in my ear right as you were asking the question. You know what? You do get used to it after a while, but Jill's very good. She just says quick little things in your ear just to tell you, like, stop talking, things like that.
Move on.
Move on. But yesterday, I will tell you, I was finishing the new news, and at the end of the new news, if it's kind of close to the end, they'll count you down in your ear. So it's like 5, 4, 3, you know.
That always throws me off.
Well, I'm okay with it most of the time, but yesterday I somehow said, log into CBS and Pittsburgh, and I combined the words sports and news, and I said for weather and snooze.
Oh, no.
And there was no time to correct it. I just kept going, and I said, have a great day, everybody. So anyhow, sometimes it does trip you up.
Yeah.
All right, next question is from Bill. Do you think virtual events will become more popular in the future, even after we move into the green phase? This is sort of what you were talking about with Zoom.
Yeah, I think definitely for our business, it will really be interesting to see. I would like to get back to normal with friends and family, doing things in person, but I'm sure a lot of people, they'll be doing these virtual events and Zooms.
I just think you get an energy back from someone in person that somehow it's harder on a screen, you know? But anyhow, I miss it.
I miss it too. I did a Zoom cooking class a few weekends ago. It was cool, but it wasn't the same. I've done in-person cooking classes. It's so different.
Yeah.
Just being there with everybody, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, ooh, I like this question. This is for David. This is from Paula. So Paula says, David, how many pairs of socks do you have? You always wear cool socks, and they always match your tie, David. You're very color coordinated all the time.
I love that you noticed that, Celina, because I do, in the darkness in the morning, try to pick socks that kind of match the tie. I don't know how many socks.
Oh, there we go, a nice close-up.
Yeah, but I do like socks. I like a little pop of color because, you know, men basically, if you're dressed for business, you know, attire at work, you get to have a little personality with your tie and your socks, and that's kind of it. So anyhow, thank you for noticing. I appreciate it.
You have a lot of socks and ties, David.
I do. I have a lot. I don't know how many. Too many to count. Anyway, thank you for the questions. As always, we love them, and we'll keep answering more of them every Friday here on PTL. Well, as we said earlier, today our area moves into the yellow phase of reopening, and among the openings, drive-in theaters. So coming up, Mikey Hood is live at the Dependable Drive-In. It is opening tonight. Mikey tells us what's playing, and more importantly, about the changes in place to keep you safe. What you need to know before you go, coming up next on PTL.
Also ahead, we are in the garden with Doug Oster. See what you can be doing in your own backyard right now to help your trees, bushes, and early veggies get a good start on summer. Doug even sent a sample of one of his early crops in for us to try later too, David.
I'm excited. Yes, we got cookies and a crop of some sort. All right, plus, don't miss our Friday pup date with Penguin. He has been training hard at home, and we found out there are a few commands he needs to learn that most dogs don't so that he can become a canine companion. We'll tell you about one surprising command in particular. That is coming up. It's all when PTL continues on this Friday, May 15th, as we head into the weekend. Thank you so much for being with us.